computer use agent, CUA, it is a kind of a technology where, and when you give instruction or give a prompt to your model, that model will do those steps one by one. It will perform one by one. Like for example, you write in your RPA bot, go open SAP logon or something. Then it launches a SAP window. Then it asks for you to enter username and password. You go and you enter that, you record capture that, you mimic human behavior, right? You click there and click whatever you want your agent or RPA bot to do. You guide them through record capturing on your GUI and all. So then the bot follows those instructions, and then when sometime the components misaligns or it changes its DOM structure or anything, like in client application, GUI based application, it will not be a DOM. DOM is always available in with respect to your web applications. But let's say anything happened, like that pop-up, that screen took long time to come and it failed. No, that is how you configured your, or you have been doing so far. But with this technology, with this computer use agent, what you do, you have to just prompt, like for example, go to this website or go to this URL, launch this URL, click on this text box, enter this value, click on next text box, enter this value, and click on submit button. Let's say if you have given this instruction, it will exactly do that. It will go by itself, it will launch the URL based on, it will keep on taking screenshot of the system, and it will, through the vision technology, it will determine where, what user have instructed, where is that element, and it will go and do that action. We will see this in an action with a simple use case. So how it works, computer using agent or computer use. User enters a prompt, CUA takes a screenshot and determine an action based on the prompt and the state of the screen. It regularly keeps on taking screenshots and checking where the element exists. So there is no way of going wrong. It cannot go wrong because it has taken screenshot, and at that time when it is taking screenshot, it knows the coordinate of that element and it clicks there. But it is still in preview. It works with lot of what I would say pre-existing or pre-configured environment. It is not ready yet for production use cases or productionizing it. It is still in preview, but yeah, as part of Copilot Studio, you can try this out, try this feature. It is available. So if you choose this option, hosted browser or hosted, like this hosted browser is like a Windows machine VM that is hosted and controlled by Microsoft. These are the bunch of devices sitting there, and whenever you fire a query, it will pick one of it will execute in one of the device, and you will get the data or you will get the response back. No control. You don't have control on the environment there. It is just a service, right, where you run and you get the result. So for that kind of a use cases, you can go with hosted browsers. But if there are some use cases where you want entire control of your bot execution, in that case you do BYO model, bring your own machine, that supports both web and desktop automation scenarios. You can register and manage these machines in Power Automate Cloud through your admin interfaces. If you like, for most of the enterprise use cases, people would go with this. Once this CUA technology is available to use for production grade applications, people will prefer this option. But there will be certain scenarios, certain use cases where customer is less worried about their data leaving their premises and getting executed in one of the VMs. So for those kind of use cases where it doesn't matter, I'm just want to do execution for public facing websites or something like that, you would use hosted browser. So there is a different billing options for both. So bring your own machines. You have, let's say you have 10 VMs and you have 3 processes or 4 processes that are running. So you will create a pool of device. So these are your available devices. Whichever is free, when the request come, whichever is free, get that executed and return back the response. And all that you can control through the cloud interface, the Power Automate. And this hosted browser, again, as mentioned, it is not recommended for production scenarios. But if you want to just build some use cases also for production, but they are not heavily dependent on your internal company data or response, which will not be the case. Nobody will build a bot or an agent which does not solve any particular enterprise use problem, right? So for learning and for public facing scenario kind of agents, you can leverage this, or for just learning and trying it out, you can use this hosted browser feature. So please explore, right? Please search on operator also from OpenAI. This that also works on similar concept. Operator from OpenAI, and there is one from Anthropic. Anthropic also is working on this. So last 6 months or 1 year back, they have shared something where they were showing in the left hand side there were instructions, and right hand side there was a agent who was performing RPA like work. Then at that time it was seen that it is a tough competitor for RPA, and RPA will no longer be there and all that stuff. But eventually when they analyze the cost and all, it is too much of cost compared to your bots, RPA bots, because RPA bots currently just consume your runner license, but in this case it takes screenshot at every step, and so processing image through vision technology, and then token consumption and all that were heavy. So people are trying to reduce that cost and make it cost optimized and cost effective. Once that is done, it will be a strong competitor for RPA kind of a bots for GUI automations. So eventually, how I think is all will be combined. So currently, all the agentic AI and automation, agentic automation, all these frameworks, right, which are pro code or low code, no code, where they lack is kind of a GUI automation. And if they want to do certain things, where RPA still shines, if this part is built in these frameworks already and it is able to work as effectively or more than what currently RPA is working, right, for UI automation, then definitely it will be a default choice. Then RPA, people would not prefer RPA kind of a, like building a bot in GUI based bot. So yeah, this is how I am thinking. I may be wrong. This technology may take more time also to get stable and cost effective. But as soon as it is stable and very much cost effective, then people will start using it. So this is the scenario. Data entry: for every row in the incoming CSV, create the sales order in SAP, write the generated order ID back to the file. For data entry, you can use CUA. Data extraction, you can use CUA. All you have to just type instruction. We will see how it compares to RPA basically. When we see RPA compared to CUA with respect to automation type, this is rule based, completely rule based. We are aware about this. This will be LLM driven. But here in RPA also now people are moving to APA and all, right, to those terms. So they are also trying to build with the power of LLM, like through the features which you have seen, like generative recorder and all that, vision fallback. They are trying to integrate this because see, nobody want to lose business. Nobody want to lose their dominance in a particular field. So if that is viewed as a way forward, so either this will be integrated within the existing RPA platforms, I would say existing automation platform, because RPA nobody uses now as a term. So either this technology will be incorporated within the existing platforms, like they did it with LLMs and agentic stuff, or if they don't do it, then maybe yeah, whoever has this, people will move there. So I strongly see that the major platforms in here would adopt to this technology also, and they will give it to the user. So it's your choice. Either go with CUA or go with traditional RP approach. Then it interacts via UI tree, and it uses vision. So yeah, I mean, you can read yourself. It's a very simple stuff. If you have any questions, let me know. Error handling, we have static error handling here, self-correcting based on visual feedback. So yeah, since it is purely powered by LLM, it would have more features and it will be more robust, more reliable. But currently, it is more costly compared to this. So it will be again on the customers like us or builders who are building these solutions to decide when to use CUA and when to use traditional RPA. So again, so today we use RPA when GA is like general availability. UI is stable, the screen, field, and selector hardly changes. Rules are clear. Decision can be captured in rules. High volume, like when there is a speed, every second we need to count. Again, yeah, this point I forgot to mention. CUA takes a lot of time. So when it comes to speed, because it uses vision technology to to refer to the elements that you have mentioned, right? So speed is also a factor along with cost. So if it improves on these two things, speed and cost, then definitely it's a very good contender to RPA. When UI shifts or vary like dynamic, there is a lot of dynamic elements on your UI, and you cannot stabilize it through normal RPA, then you may prefer using. But yeah, obviously it should be available for you to not, it should not be just in preview version, it should be a production grade technology, then only you can use, which is not the case with Copilot Studio or Microsoft platform as of now. You need it fast. The RPA team is backing and full. Fast as in terms of development, not in terms of execution speed. Okay. The task depends on what's visible on the screen. So that's why it takes time, because it works on vision as a technology. Decisions are fuzzy. The agent must think, pick the next step, or self-correct. So these are the few scenarios when you should try and use CUA. And let me show you to you in action. We will pick the same example. And here there is one tool called data extraction, and which is CUA. I will enable this. I'll also show you to how you can add it here, how this came here, right? Again, you have to create on a new tool. First, let this get enabled. So how I have added this, similarly, how I have added send email, in the same way I have added this, right? So let me click here, add tool, go to new tool, and click here on computer use. This is in preview, as you can see here. So once I click there, it gives me the options, instruction. So for example, open this website, open archive.com, search for one research paper, extract some information, and send back me the result. I can mention like that. Once I mention those steps here, step-by-step instructions, I can click on add configure. So it provides a prompt template also here, like a data entry or data extraction or invoice processing. Let's click one of them. So it will also give the instruction for you. Go to computer demos dot whatever website they have configured by default, and set the date filter to this and all. And then in a new tab, open this window or this URL, and then fill out the form, right? Pretty much RPA like, not RPA like, it is RPA kind of use cases only. So, and for data extraction, go to this blob storage and all, and do this. So we will try with this invoice processing, and let's see how it works. Add and configure. This is how you add a new tool, which is a computer use, which uses computer use technology to your agent. And now you have to define in your prompt when this would be called. You have to define that, and that's how the agent will know, right? This is the tool, and what is the point, or when it should be called, or when it should be referenced. So once you click add and configure, it will pop up. It will give you these options where you can decide the name, description of the tool, and those instructions if you want to modify, tweak them. Input, if there is some input needed, you can add it from there. What is the name of the input, and describe that input, so that if there is some input expect, for example, this URL, we have hard coding here. If something on this instruction you want on the fly, it should render through variables, right? You can do that, add them as an input. So, and machines here, it's a hosted browser, and by default it is hosted for now, because I mean we don't have an option, and it is still in preview, right? So bring your own model, it doesn't provide that option for. And the credentials, again, maker provided, like the logged in account or user credentials. And you can store your credentials in here, like click here, Azure Key Vault. Like in Automation Anywhere, we have Credential Vault. Here also we have Azure Key Vault. You can mention and store your credentials over here that can be used to connect while this tool is getting called. And you can also control the access by allowing only specific websites or applications. You can mention them here, so that this tool will only work on those specific allowed websites. So yeah, these were a few of the settings that you can do. And from here, you can test your tool also. And I'll click on test. So what it will do, it will go to this website or this web page. It will launch this web page, set the date filter to last 24 hours and open all the invoice PDFs. So they might have configured some predefined values there, predefined sample PDFs. So this is how it runs. So it is trying to see what are the available VMs available to run this agent. Then it will do, it will open a new tab. It will fill out those details and submit the invoice form. So as I told you, it is a little bit slow, right? Because it is now looking for the virtual machine, available virtual machine. As soon as it is available, it will go log in and it will try to do these activities. So see, it is opening Microsoft Edge to navigate. It's opening the browser and it will show up here once it has opened this URL. You can see now the browser has been opened. So this is the view you are getting from the VM where this bot or this agent is getting executed. Now it has navigated to invoice and it will put the filter, setting date filter. So if I would do this in an RPA, traditional RPA way, by now it would have been done also. But since it work on vision, right, it generally is less prone to like those kind of a break issues, like where UI automation breaks, right? So in that sense, it is good. But yeah, speed is something where it needs to improve, and also the cost. So this is the invoice details. Now it will open a new tab and I'm not doing anything. So there is a pop-up also. See, if it was RPA, then we have to mention something for pop-up handling, right? Here it is managing it automatically. Like we have to just write it in instructions. It has handled that pop-up. Now it will click on add invoice and try to add those details and submit. But it is slow. Adding another line item now, because we have to see, right, behind the scene, how much token it is consuming for one request. What is the ROI? It should not happen that the data entry operator is able to do it in much less cost and the automation is taking 10 times to what the data entry operator would do. So then it doesn't make sense. But as a technology, this excites. This is really interesting stuff. Provided we should get this in a less cost and the speed should be improved. These two things are addressed, then definitely we are good with this. This is done now. Acknowledging invoice submission, clicking done. That's it. This is the reference number we have got as acknowledgement. This is done now.